Hey everybody, and welcome to another Joker's Wild Side Corner. I am Lobo,
I'm Jax.
and today we got somewhat of a lighter day in news, but there's also some exciting news that just popped up that we added. Um, but first of all, how was your weekend? How you doing, brother?
Um, Week was mostly well. We're getting along. Um,
It was a weird one this weekend for me as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely a weird week, and I'm ready to start off this Monday with positive vibes and good mentalities.
yes, definitely we do. Um, yeah, it was stressful. I'm not
Howdy,
gonna.
howdy.
Yeah. What's up, Sadler?
What's up? I'm Quack. How's it going?
I'm Quack. Well, let's start off with some NFL news. This weekend we had the Pro Bowl, the NFC versus the AFC, the best of the best. Somewhat, there were
Hmm.
some replacements and stuff. Uh, but we have the NFC dominated for part of the game, but AFC made a good game at the end of it. Um, with the NFC winning 64-59 at last ditch efforts. Was cut off by the NFC. Great defense. The game was obviously high, very high scoring,
Yeah,
but it was also flag football. Um,
but yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good.
yeah. Um, didn't see much of it. There was a few plays, and flag football has different rules, so there was a lot of different plays that normally wouldn't work in that
Mm.
with the rules set at least. But regardless, NFC wins again. This is a second year in a row, or third, I think.
And
Uh,
it was which one of the Mannings?
It was Eli Manning coaching that one. So he is 2-0 against Peyton. Jesus. With that being said, now we got some news that I'm kind of pissed off about.
Oh yeah, no, you were excited about this.
Yes. So last Friday we reported, and actually it was reported all over social media, all over ESPN, and all the other sports shows.
Hmm.
That Kliff Kingsbury was going to be signed to the Raiders as the offensive coach.
See, I thought it was confirmed.
It was expected to happen. They had apparently, as the day went on, they had contract dispute on the length, is what I'm understanding from other shows and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't going to be continuous.
Yeah, it looked like they were gonna cut him off at 2 years, and he wanted a third year with
Gotcha.
guaranteed money. So unfortunately, the Raiders did not get him. Cliff Garris, Cliff, Jesus, I'm having trouble with his name.
Kliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, um, has signed with Washington Commanders and is their new offensive coordinator. With that, the Raiders went on and signed offensive coordinator, former offensive coordinator for the Bears, Luke Getsy.
Not last year former, right?
Yes,
Last year
last
former?
year is I think it's been the last 3 years.
So Raiders are going to be shooting themselves in the foot now. They
So
had high expectations, high ability for Kliff Kingsbury, and now they're settling with Luke Getsy, that is.
yeah, I do not know why they would do this, but just because he didn't work for the Bears doesn't mean he won't work for the the Raiders. But it is not the same. Definitely not
Mhm.
the same. I am very disappointed on this, but we also got to give him time.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll turn it around, right? Um, I'm still pissed off about this though. It is not what I was expecting after last week because I know Kingsbury's offense was very good the first few years in Arizona.
Hmm.
Um, although Luke Getsy is also from the Shanahan tree, or and I can't remember the other coach, but they all have similar offenses, and the offenses that are in the Super Bowl right now, so they're all very similar. So the play action is very heavy, so maybe that will help
Hmm.
us out too. We will see. Uh, other news, other head coaching news or coaching news, sorry. Steve Belichick, the son of Bill Belichick, has officially become the DC of the University of Washington.
And was Steve doing anything else beforehand?
He was an assistant with Bill in New England, and since Bill wasn't picked up by anybody, which
Hmm.
the rumor was he was going to go with his father, that changed his plans. He is now the defensive coordinator for the Washington Huskies, if I remember correctly.
You got about think about him,
Yes,
and keep on trucking on his deal.
definitely. He's still got to make money. Other news that came up today or this weekend: Le'Veon Bell, former running back for the Steelers, the Jets, and I think one other team, but he has not played in a year or so or plus. He's attempting to come back to the NFL, but only for one team, his former team, the Steelers. Um, I don't know. I don't know if he's the same running back he was when a few years back when he was close to being the MVP a few times.
Michigan State and Steelers. So just those two, it seems.
No, Michigan State was his college, Spartans. But that green is the Jets, New York Jets. So it was the Jets and the Steelers. But he only said he only wants to return to the Steelers. I don't know what.
And Kansas City. And Baltimore Ravens. And Buccaneers.
Oh, did he?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, regardless.
He has stuck 26 through the Steelers, through the Chiefs, and the Jets. The Ravens, he was 17. Tampa Bay, he was 6. And then for his high school team, he was 24. Or college team, 24 for Michigan State Spartans.
Okay. The thing is, the way he left the Steelers was very bad. It was not a good way they ended. So, will they take him back? He has to show very, very much that he's changed. And I'm pretty sure in their contract they're going to put stuff to prevent the way he exited previously. So, also announced today, very big news on NFL next year, as the Eagles are set to open the 2024 season in first time ever in Brazil. It seems like we're going for South America now. We had some success in Europe.
But it's time for Brazil.
Brazil. This is exciting to get the football all over the world, but is this a smart move?
I think yes. I think, and this might just be me feeling like we need to spread our cultures and whatnot, but it is getting it out to people, and Europe has even thought and talked about, specifically England, has talked about opening up their own American football team, and right now it's just in talks. I haven't reviewed this information since 8 months ago, so it's pretty exciting that we might have not only an American set of games, but we might have like a World Cup of football. And I think that'd be crazy.
Yeah, they've been wanting to do that since they had a Europe League back in early 2000s. That's where one of the best kickers of all time, Adam Vinatieri, came from to kick to New England after that. The thing with that is, can the popularity of the game spread to keep the people coming? Can the games be good enough to keep them entertained? And that way, because this is a business, remember, at the end of it. If it's not profitable, they will not continue it.
And the biggest thing is, though, they have to literally construct stadiums or get stadiums set up specifically to cater to football.
Yes.
Because I don't know how large a soccer pitch is, but I feel like you could fit a football field in there, but now you're having to construct these tees.
Football. So I know the dimensions. Football fields are longer, but they're also a little thinner.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah, you have to have a specific stadium set up just for football. So you're dumping millions of, if not billions, into these stadiums. So hopefully it will become profitable enough that the rest of the world sees it and goes, yeah, I could justify this. And then you have all the teams. That's a whole nother pricing. But
yeah, or they could fix them up so the football game could be played on it for sure. But like you said, the teams will be expensive to build there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They want in Qatar billions.
Yeah, the ones we're not gonna get into that too much. They were freaking container fucking really build bomb containers. It's ridiculous, but what was I saying? The way they're going about it, I think it's smart. Bring their NFL teams one game, two games, a few games a year to certain cities around the world and get the popularity growing and the interest and the want for it to keep growing. That way they could build a world league, like they said.
I am actually legitimately curious on how many Europeans, and I mean, I'll state this better. How many people across the world will come to watch a football game? And I can see where specific people may tune in to like the Super Bowl or something like that across the world because it's the big title, just as much as like someone like me would watch the World Cup in soccer because that is the big title, and you might as well watch the big title. So I am legitimately curious on the statistics of what the drive and need is for that. Obviously, they have enough to where they're sending the Eagles down to Brazil for an entire match.
Yeah. So this is their first attempt at South America now. No, sorry. No, Mexico is still North America. So no, yeah, the first attempt in South America. We will see how it goes. The only thing that got me also a little cautious is the way Brazil is. You got to be very careful where you at, where you roam, what you flaunt.
I mean, I can almost say the same about
Mexico,
Germany, and Mexico, and
yeah,
there's problems everywhere. But this isn't a political podcast, so we're not going to get too far into it.
Yeah, cricket has a crazy following, Sadler.
Yeah,
specifically in the Asias and the Europe, very much so.
And I feel like cricket's actually like a crazy sport for what it actually is.
It is. It's just the rules. I still haven't got into it too much. So,
from my understanding, it's just a thing that you watch, and then as you see it happen, you understand because the rules list is about as long as the football rules list, where
yeah.
Where I mean, there was several things that we talked about. It's like, how does that count? How does that not count?
Oh, the end zone, the catches, and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, yeah.
There's so many layers to so many different rules. I mean, it legitimately is its own game. So it has its own set of rules.
But moving on to another sport that is also worth billions and billions.
Going on to a different set of rules.
Yeah, a completely set of rules. Unfortunately, in the NBA, we lost a great one. Two-time NBA champion. Oh, I'm probably going to butcher this. Cureton has died at the age of 66. I think it was today. He was a former champion with, let me see if I don't butcher this, the 76ers and the Houston Rockets.
How confident are you on that?
50-50. I know one is for sure the Rockets. One of them was either 76ers or the Detroit Pistons. But regardless, rest in peace to him. Because he played for quite a few teams. So I kind of think it is the 76ers versus the Lakers. They did beat them.
Scroll over. See here. Philadelphia, Detroit, Clippers, Charlotte, Houston, Toronto, playoffs. Philadelphia, Detroit, Houston.
So the green ones are the ones he won the championship.
Gotcha.
So it was Philadelphia 76ers and the Houston Rockets. So I was right. But regardless, rest in peace to him and T's in peace to his family. It always sucks to lose a legend, especially on the sport world. Someone that was viewed by many and loved by many as well. With the trade deadline coming up next Monday, if I remember correctly, the 8th. Nope. That's Thursday. Wednesday. Thursday. I'm gonna go over a few teams that are
Thursday, February 8th.
Yeah, Thursday. That are in trade conversations.
Okay.
Chicago Bulls are in it a lot. It seems like they want to do a lot of moves. Houston Rockets were mentioned in there. Minnesota Timberwolves. There's a lot of rumors that the Lakers are also looking to trade LeBron James to the Knicks. The Raptors are involved also in some trade conversation. Nothing is confirmed besides the one we talked about last week. The one that we thought it was too much was given for one player. With the Grizzlies, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Memphis Grizzlies. trading Steve Adams to Houston. I just thought it was too many picks for that one guy plus a player. So I don't know. Personally, at least, I think that was too much. But we'll keep you posted on Friday for sure. We'll go over every single trade that happened this week up to the trade deadline. So hopefully there's some good moves, and hopefully the Lakers don't trade away LeBron James because
Definitely a lot of moves though.
Yeah.
And yeah, your Lakers, not saying that they're going to falter without him, but he is definitely a superpower.
yes, exactly. And we are struggling, although they did play well without their two star players against the best team in the NBA, the Celtics. Then we did win that one. Um, Also, with LeBron James, the game after that, they beat down the red hot Knicks. Hell yeah. Uh, but other teams that are supposedly involved in trades was recently announced because of the 76ers. Joel Embiid will have to miss a big time, significant time due to his procedure done on his meniscus. He has been dealing with this for a bit, and it looks like they're gonna try to at least get someone to help him out during this time where he's missing. Uh, I don't know if you could replace a Joel Embiid. He is very MVP caliber level, so that's gonna be hard to fill those shoes for sure. Moving on to another sport, so completely set of rules. Yeah, we're just jumping here.
On to more rules.
Yeah. Sabers defenseman Mattias Samuelsson had upper body season-ending surgery. So Buffalo Sabres will be out with their big defenseman. Will this bring a damper on their season? Let me check real quick where
I don't think that the Sabres were doing too hot anyways, if I remember correctly.
They hold on if this phone will load. Buffalo Sabres, no, they were in the bottom three on their division.
Yeah.
So they were. Let me see.
It's not like they really had a season to begin with.
I think bottom like 15 teams, bottom 10 teams.
Yeah.
So it sucks for them now. It looks like they might get even worse if he's that much of an impact player. So sucks for the Sabres. Sucks to Mattias, but that's part of the game. In other news, the Pittsburgh Penguins signed forward. I'm gonna butcher his name. Just deal with me.
All right, let's
do this. Puljujarvi, till the 2024-2025 season. So it seems like they extended his contract.
Man, that is definitely one of the most names.
Yeah, so it's Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi.
Yeah, I don't know what language that stems from, but Puljujarvi.
Definitely a complicated name, but the Penguins will have him for another year and a half. So
they almost have to copyright his name, man. Shoot.
I think he should get that one though. Also, the All-Star weekend for the NHL was this last weekend. On Saturday they had, so apparently the way the layout for the All-Star game for the NHL. Yeah, gotta patent that name. It is complicated. What's up?
Howdy. I follow it.
You can burp. Great name.
I definitely burp.
Yeah, an effort. So the NHL All-Star game has been changed. It is 4 teams now instead of 2. And they put 4 different captains and they named the teams that. But Team Matthews ended up taking the final win over McDavid, 7-4. Also, I think never mind. That was years ago, where the fastest slap shot in NHL history was recorded in the All-Star game, 108 miles an hour.
Okay, we'll at least get into this real quick as a question.
Who can burp the best?
Yeah.
I could do multiple burps at a time, but I have to drink soda.
Yeah, no, if I drink a Diet Coke, then I'm set for a nice burp, but I'm not prepared to burp right now.
Neither am I. I've just been drinking water all day. No, I could chain them, like, it'll be going right before it stops. I start another one. It's weird. So I got you there.
Oh, no, I can definitely on command, but I'm not here.
I cannot on command. That is a fact. I've tried, but I can't. Yeah. So, other news supposedly in the All Star game, we've talked about this before, that they were asked if what they thought about a franchise coming to Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, positive reviews, positive thoughts.
Gotcha.
So it looks like they're pushing to get a team here. Even the players are excited to come over here. As they were talking about the city, it's a good city to play in. The Jazz are looking like they're doing great. So it seems like more more sooner than later they will get an NHL franchise here
I'm
in
just
Salt Lake City.
I'm just glad that this is opening up better opportunities, especially for Utah natives, to actually be able to get into or having a more direct route into being in NHL. Not saying that they're always going to hire out of Salt Lake City, but
Yeah,
they
but
got to build from somewhere, and there's going to be a lot more prospects looking at Salt Lake City, and it definitely feels like it can move, uh, push the bill essentially.
yes, definitely. But it's very exciting. Like we said, one, the city will grow more. Second, they'll bring more eyes to Salt Lake City. The unfortunately traffic would increase with all this, and I hate traffic. But it gives us more opportunity to go watch some games. Like we said, when is it next weekend? We're going to a wrestling show. And it'll give us more opportunities to go out there and review with you guys, talk about it. So we're hoping that there is
What
another
day
one here
was that on, man?
on the 16th.
Is it the 16th?
I think so. It's Friday.
Yeah, next week.
Yep, next Friday. So we'll keep you posted on that. We might have to. Oh, I'm leaving early, man. That day we're gonna have to skip out on the news or come in Thursday and do it because we're gonna be out late. Unless you want to stay even later and do the corner. We'll talk about that. We'll keep you posted on that. But regardless, we'll have an episode, or we could do a film one and or something else
Mm-hmm.
and drop it. Sounds good. Regardless, we'll have something for you still Friday.
Yeah.
Moving on, since we did talk about wrestling a little bit right now. Uh, let's go into pro wrestling.
Before we do that, I just want to hit a reminder that we will be watching the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers February 11th. That is this weekend
Mhm.
on Sunday. And that will be starting at 4:30 Utah time, Mountain
Mhm.
Standard Time. That makes that 3 o'clock California time
Give or take.
and 6 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah. Completely forgot about it this time. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so join us. We'll remind you again on Friday. We will be uh, live streaming us watching the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
We could see your comments. Sadler, if you want to come over, you're more than welcome.
Yep, check out on Friday as well, as we will be making our official
Mhm.
NFL Super Bowl picks.
Mhm.
And I'm going to at least try and base mine off of who may actually win, not off of who I want to win. I will be rooting for a specific team,
Mhm.
but that is different than who may actually win.
Exactly. Now, moving on to pro wrestling. Some pro wrestling. Uh, I don't know if you saw, but on Friday after the show, our show I'm talking about,
Uh-huh.
SmackDown had a segment with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, about who is Cody Rhodes gonna face at WrestleMania. Well, lo and behold, guess who comes out? The great one, the drama bull, the people's champ, The Rock. And it looks like it's gonna be Roman Reigns versus The Rock, with what Cody Rhodes kind of announced there.
Mm-hmm. And there's been something along the lines where he picked out Seth Rollins for something.
Yeah, for his title.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is looking like. But boy, has this gotten a lot of heat on YouTube, as it was. I think in the first few hours is the most disliked video of all time. This is ridiculous considering it's The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
it's Roman Reigns, who's also very popular. Cody Rhodes was in it. wow, was this hated on so bad.
This is a very controversial topic, and it sucks because you have all these great names, and yes, I see the defending points of why people are upset, but it's not always in your decision. That you just kind of have to let it let the show go on. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily say uh, take this with a grain of salt. Has WWE ever disappointed you? And by that I mean continuous
Yeah,
over
yeah,
like a month, a year.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this is it has happened before. Put it this way:
Hmm.
Bryan Danielson now in AEW. Also with CM Punk, it happened in his first run with WWE, where people want to see them as champions, as the main champion, and WWE will pull them back for some reason. They
Hmm.
will not give them to them. So much so for Daniel Bryan when he was in WWE,
Hmm.
they were expecting him to win a Royal Rumble years back, and it was rumored that he was going to be the last entrant in the Rumble. When the last entrance of the Rumble came in, and it was Rey Mysterio, which he is beloved. He is beloved, dude.
Yeah.
They booed the hell out of him
Oh,
because yeah,
geez.
because they wanted Daniel Bryan. They it was so bad that it forced WWE's hands to switch up the plans, as they had Batista win the Royal Rumble, but they added Bryan Danielson to the match at WrestleMania because he beat Triple H. So then they added him to the match, and he ended up winning the whole thing. Because I'm pretty sure if he didn't win, there was gonna be riots.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is that similar vein because they want to see this fucking story finished. They want to see it conclude. The Cody Rhodes, at least.
All right. That definitely helps cook my prediction that I have later on for
Okay.
today.
Okay. Which we'll do here at the end of wrestling. The thing is, the reason I think this has a lot of hate is for that reason I just mentioned. They want to see Cody versus Roman Reigns. They want to see Cody come out victorious. And this is The Rock. Everybody loves The Rock
Hmm.
for the most part. There's some haters out there.
Oh yeah, no, there's always going to be a hater, no matter what.
Yeah, but the fact that even him coming in, the crowd went nuts when he came in.
Yeah.
The thing is, everybody else is not wanting this. They want Cody versus Roman. They want Cody to win, as he deserves to win,
Hmm.
in my opinion. But we'll continue talking about this here in our predictions. I know we both have ideas on what could possibly happen there.
Oh yeah.
Um, there's also reports. I'm just gonna mention it quickly because we did spend a lot talking about it on Friday. There's reports that on the allegations that Vince McMahon and others, including John Laurinaitis and Brock Lesnar, named in that, could possibly get worse as supposedly people are joining those allegations. That there are more witnesses, more testimony. So it looks bad for Vince and company.
Mm.
So sucks. Like I said, we're not gonna get too much into it more. It's just sad to see that this is happening or that this happened.
We'll
Uh,
definitely have to do a video of what is the future of WWE after this is all passed. Um,
I think that's a little down the road right now.
yeah,
It's a very hot topic, and like I said, we don't really want to get into it 100%
yeah.
right now.
This is not a political podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Hell no, it ain't. Uh, we might have some that leak in just because it irks us, but we'll try to keep it to the what it is: sports, wrestling, and entertainment.
Mm.
Speaking of another uh wrestler, AEW wrestler Ray Phoenix looks like he suffered a hip injury. He's been dealing with this for a while, apparently. It was reported last week by Dave Meltzer, who is one of the most prolific reporters in pro wrestling,
Hmm.
big name for since the 80s, I think, that he was going to have hip surgery and it was going to take him out for a while. It is confirmed now that Ray Phoenix will not be going into surgery for that. It looks like he's going to just try to heal it up naturally.
Mm.
Hopefully that gets better, but he will have to stop wrestling for a while for that to happen for sure.
Yeah, no, hip surgery is definitely it could be a very scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're essentially, depending on the severity of it, putting in an entire half of your hip structure with titanium.
Yeah.
That it's a lot.
Yeah.
And you're disconnecting things and reinserting things, and things will pop out a lot easier.
Yeah.
There's a lot more compressions and concerns with
And I'm
new
pretty sure.
equipment going in.
I'm pretty sure if he does have that, that will be the end of his wrestling career, or pretty close to it. Because the way he wrestles is, he's a high flyer, he's a risk taker.
Yeah.
That's gonna be damaging to the hip replacement or hip whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah, if he wants to continue wrestling, I would say that the best option for him is to not do surgery and find other means
Mm-hmm.
of whatever. But
Stem cell.
potentially.
Yeah. A lot of people love that. I haven't done my research, but a lot of people love it. It extends people's careers. So
Yeah.
possibly a way to go to heal it up faster. Moving on, we're gonna go into this weekend's pay-per-view, as it was called before, premium live event now, WWE NXT Vengeance Day. This was a great pay-per-view. I'm gonna keep calling pay-per-view to the end of days, to be honest with
It's the same thing. It's a different title.
you. Yeah. But,
It's like saying that a tomato is a tomato.
potato.
Yeah,
Same-
it's the
same
same
shit.
word, different branding. I could get really
No, let's not do that. Anyways, the show's kicked off with the final for the Dusty Cup Tag Team Tournament. It was Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. This match was good, very fast paced. There was a little bit of hiccups, like one Braun Breaker, the one that is a monster,
Yeah.
was running to the ropes. He almost fell through. He came back, he controlled himself, and then bumped into the rope again, busting him open around the eyebrow area. But he did not stop. Dude is a beast and a freak. I love it. But Corbin and Breaker end up getting the win. With this, they're the champions of the Dusty Cup, and will have a opportunity down the line for the tag team titles.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations to them. This was a great match. Like I said, there was a little hiccups here and there, but it was nothing major. The next match after that the next match after that was Dijak versus Joey Gacy in a no DQ match. You saw a little bit of it. What you think of it?
I have a newfound respect for Joe Gacy. I like the insane, the crazy, the mentally insecure. It does something for
The
me.
mentally unstable too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it does something for me.
It tickles that spot.
Uh
Wanted to say pickle so bad.
huh.
But yeah, this was still a crazy match. There was some like weird offenses, like when he was wearing the trash can and then headbutted, or it looked like he headbutted Dijak as he was running
Yeah.
in. That was pretty funny, pretty cool little spot. Dijak going through the table with all these toys and toy car, toy shoulders, all this stuff. Pretty good match. Right after that, there was a 6-person mixed tag match of OTM, which was Bronco, Lucian, Jada with Scripps on their corner versus La Familia, which is an Italian stable based on Pablo. You guessed it, the mob.
Yeah.
With Tony, Adriana, and Stax. This match was very, very good. There was a few little things with the women, specifically Adriana. I think she's very green. Her punches really suck. They don't look as bad. Sorry, don't want to say
Okay.
they don't look as well as they should. You could tell those are work punches. pretty
Yeah.
much. So-
She needs to work on her punches.
Exactly. But other than that, she had a great spot where she goes off the turnbuckle to the outside, She literally does like a cross body and like she looks like she does like a little crunch and then extends. Great form.
Flying squirrel.
Squirrel. But this was a great match. OTM, I think it's OTM. Yeah, OTM definitely showed that they've improved. They're a pretty new team, but they've showed leaps and bounds that they're coming at it as they controlled most of the match. And Stacks took a beating in this match. I mean, he was destroyed left and right. Poor guy. But La Familia comes up with the big win. Man, this was a good match. Moving on. After that, it was the NXT Women's Title match. Roxanne versus the champion, Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
Valkyria. We were debating this name earlier.
It looked weird. It's spelled weird. It's said weird. Yeah. We have two very difficult names to say today.
Yeah. This match to me was very good. And not just because I'm a fan of both Roxanne and Lyra. Two beautiful short women. Love and petite.
Mm-hmm.
Shorter women, sorry. Don't get offended, Jesus. Don't come after me. Well, actually, yeah, come after me.
Is that a hate word now?
I don't fucking know. My name might be a fucking hate word going forward. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. But Roxanne definitely changed her character, the way she presents herself. Lyra, I was a little debated on her being a champion, as she's also fairly new.
Mm-hmm. She definitely had some moves.
Yes, but later in the match, Lola, who won the breakout star for the women's side, comes in with the contract for the title. That means she was added to the match. It became a triple threat match. She still had a little... I mean, it wasn't terrible, but there was still little things she needs to work on. Obviously, she's very new. She's coming off of the world of MMA. She was in UFC.
Okay.
But Roxanne and Lyra definitely carried her. Definitely are the stars of the match. I have a big old crush on Roxanne, obviously. Mm-hmm. She did great. Lyra actually proved that, okay, she's here. She's here to do it. She's doing great. She deserves to be champ. But this was a good match as well. Actually, this whole card was fucking good, to be honest.
A lot better than the crap that we got.
You talking about the Rumble?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. After that, it was a North American Championship match of Oba Fami, the one that no one knew before he won this title, for the same reason that Lola. He was a breakout star on the men's side and got a contract for any title. He cashed in on Dragon Lee and won.
Yeah.
So that's why when he won, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, yeah, you were pissed. I mean, it made it onto your worst moments.
Yes, because I didn't know who this guy was. And I'm a big fan of Dragon Lee, not just because he's Mexican and he's luchador. He's a very good performer.
Yeah.
And
he is very well as a good performer.
Yeah, and he proved it here. This match was probably... I can't even rate these matches above each other because they're all really good. Dragon Lee held his own against Oban, who is about twice as big as he is.
Okay.
Oban is a monster. But this match also made me realize one other thing. Oban might be that guy. Great performance out of him. They didn't have him do nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I do think one thing, he does need to change his finish. It was a pop-up powerbomb, technically.
Okay.
Like Kevin Owens does, which I don't know if you've seen it. Where the guy's running, he throws him up and then power bombs him down.
Yeah.
I think he needs to find a different finish, in my opinion. But this match was still great. It proved why he's who they gave him the push that they did. And I think he will be one to look forward to in the next few years. He's definitely changed my mind on him. He did not deserve to be in my worst moments, put it that way. Just
so you would like to go and strike the record?
No, I already said it. So I can't strike it. I'm not gonna.
I was about to go and edit things out.
No, leave it there. But it definitely changed my opinion on him going forward. Now I expect higher things from him. So let's go. But this was a great match too. There were some crazy spots on it. I can't even go over everything because it was Very, very crazy. But Oman is that guy, and he ends up with the big win and retains his title. And finally, we get to the main event. The NXT champion, Ilja Dragunov, who we are big fans of. His physicality, his performance, the way he presents himself. Very intense personality.
Ilja gets crazy.
Yes. Yes, and we love it. Versus Trick Williams with Carmelo Hayes in his corner. Yes, the same ones that opened up the show. This match, I was expecting a good match for this.
Yeah.
I was not expecting Trick Williams to be this guy. Like Oba. I did not know who Oba is. I knew who Trick Williams was. But I didn't expect this performance from him in this main event match for the NXT Championship. He showed also that he is a guy on the come up. He is a guy that in a little bit he's going to be the next champion, like main champion.
Mm.
Which I think connected with what happens here at the end of the match as Ilya Dragunov retains his title. Carmelo's just talking to him. He said, "Man, I'm your boy. I got you. Don't worry." Turned his back on him.
Trick is walking away.
Carmelo Hayes turns on Trick Williams. Boy, did he beat that leg up with that steel chair.
Oh man, he
pummeled it till the chair broke pretty much.
I've seen some chair hits, and I was just like, okay. These recent wrestling chair hits that we've been seeing, they're not much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're a single ding dong, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
No, with this was the most warped I had ever seen.
A chair?
A chair.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the back was almost at a 90 degree.
Yeah.
But what I like most about this is the build up to this betrayal, like we talked about when you were seeing this. For the last couple months or weeks or whatever,
yeah,
when they filmed both Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, as soon as Trick turns away from Hayes, you see that little look of disgust, look of fuck you.
I have to be around you.
I'm like this motherfucker, like that look.
Yeah,
just a little bit. And this exactly the same thing happened at the end of the match when Trick is walking away. Carmelo Hayes just gives him that death look and chops his knee right under him. Man, I'm telling you. So right here, I see a lot of stars coming out of this. Hayes is already considered to be one of the best come-ups.
Oh yeah, we added him to our lists of
best wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed. Trick Williams, with this performance, we know he has it in him. Ilja Dragunov, for a while we've known this. Oba just proved it to me. Dragon Leaf's proven that he could be a big star. Roxanne and Lyra with the women's division. La Familia looking good. OTM. Grace and Dijak had a great match.
Thanks, Kills, for the follow.
Thank you. And then the big one, Braun Breaker. I think he will be the next superstar for sure. But all these wrestlers, all these performers showed they have potential to be in the next level and beyond to the main event level. Especially Trick Williams, Ilja, Hayes, and Oba. I think those will be for sure on the main event roster soon. Overall, I give this 2 fingers up. This was much better than the Rumble, like I said.
Oh, yeah.
There was no bad match. There was a few weird moments, like I said. But
it puts to shame what we got for the
Royal Rumble. Yes, 100%. Actually, make it 200%. It was there was no bad match here. Like, the worst match for me will probably be either Dijak and Joe Grayson or the Dusty Cup Finals.
Yeah, I was saying the most that I heard you complain was the Braun Breaker going almost messing up his his run, and that's the only complaint. And that was an accident.
Even with the 6-person tag, there was a little like miscommunication or a little like weirdness.
Yeah,
with the females, but it wasn't like it was in the beginning of the match. Okay, they moved on. They got it. They continued and they did well after that. Both of them had good spots after that. Jada was throwing hips to the girl Adrienne in the corner, doing great stuff, getting involved. Adriana did that big flying splash towards the end of the match. Both of them did great performance. So it was only little things here and there.
Mhm.
It's not like two full matches completely underperformed or weird endings. It was none of that. Uh, so I give this two middle fingers up. That's the best rating I could possibly give it. If my toes could give middle fingers, I would give them those two.
It looks like you got to work with your toes better, boy.
Yeah, I'm not weird like that. I'm not a feet person, dude.
I did not watch all of the matches that occurred, just bits and pieces. It's definitely something that I will have to watch because it sounds like a crowd stomp out.
Mhm.
I will say this.
Mhm.
I feel like you're rating a little bit higher just because what we got was so terrible. So seeing something very good is boosting your rating. Just from what I saw, I and like I said, I only saw clips of maybe half the matches. As it sits right now, for me, I would put it as double thumbs up, bordering a middle finger.
Okay. So, like I said, the worst match for me was probably Dijak Gracie, and that match was still really good.
Yeah.
It was violent, intense, and then the creep factor with this guy, Great Gacy, the edgy factor. So it was still a good to great match.
How's it going, Atomic?
Well, what's up? Um, but this was, like I said, maybe you're right. Maybe because of the Royal Rumble, it kind of soured us a little bit on it. But to me, there was no bad, like, there was a few little things. There was no big bad moments, to be honest with you. So maybe I am giving a little more than it should have. But that's kind of how things happen here. Like, when there's with entertaining, for instance, when a first good movie comes, the second comes and it underperforms expectations. The Rumble was a low expectation. This knocked it out of the park with some other people. I don't even know who
we will be going to SmackDown next Friday.
Yep, the 16th. But like I said, the Rumble brought it down. This is definitely bringing it up. And NXT, to be honest with you, for the last almost 7-8 years.
I wouldn't necessarily say WWE screwed over Cody Rhodes. I think it's just a less than preferable outcome.
I do. There. I'm fucking going there because they did the same thing with CM Punk back in the day.
But I'm going to get in why I think that what I'm thinking is thinking in the predictions coming up in just a moment.
Yeah. So now that we're done with the NXT, like I said, 2 middle fingers up for NXT Vengeance Day. You gave it 2 thumbs up, right?
I gave it 2 thumbs up just from the clips that I saw, bordering a middle finger. Yeah, Cody really did want to fight.
Yeah. Delta's what?
Is doing a giveaway for announcements.
We'll talk to you a little bit, Saller. Give us a minute. Send him a message and
text me up.
Yeah, and then we'll see what you mean by that. Yeah, so maybe you have to see a little bit more of the actual show, and that'll give you a little bit of better perception on why I think what I think. But moving on to WrestleMania 40 card, it was announced on SmackDown. Bayley versus Io Shirai. Bayley chose her champion she's gonna go after, and she also destroyed fucking Damage Control. Dude, she went after him. But Bayley will be facing Io for the WWE Women's title at WrestleMania. Also, rumored, somewhat kind of confirmed, The Rock versus Roman Reigns, like we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. And with that also putting Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins. Those are kind of confirmed, not 100% yet.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, we're going to go into some of our predictions that we think with WrestleMania and others. What do you think on something that could happen at WrestleMania?
So, I was kind of just goofing around and looking at some things, and everybody's wanting this Rock and Roman fight, but they also want the Cody and Roman fight. So, because WrestleMania is a 2-day event, I can see it going this way. You have The Rock, who fights Roman Reigns on day 1, and it is not for Universal Champ title. It is for Tribal Chief. Because to me, that makes sense why it would be Tribal Chief. They're going. He's trying to close off like the family ties and what have you to
Who's really
whatever.
in charge?
Yeah, who's really in charge? Now, who would win or lose? Because it not until there's an official card out will I be able to answer this confidently. Because I can't see Roman losing everything in a night. I could see it, but I can't see it necessarily.
The thing is, so I'm gonna piggyback off yours because you showed me this yesterday, correct? And I was very interested. I'm like, that makes sense. But I had two thoughts with that. One, Roman Reigns beats The Rock, and then goes on to face Cody, and Cody wins the whole thing overall.
Yeah,
making it look like The Rock couldn't beat Roman, but Cody did. Is that because he had a match back to back, or because Cody is that guy now?
Yeah, Cody's that guy.
Or two, the other one I mentioned to you yesterday, Roman and The Rock's match ends up in no contest, no tie, whatever. Some reason they end up a tie. Second night, it's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the title. And Cody ends up winning the whole thing. Either way, it comes out as, yeah, they had their match. Yes, they're a match for each other, but Cody still ends up on top. That's one of them that's just the way my mind works.
So yeah, with Roman, if he starts to lose, the brothers will come and rescue, but that's how it's always been. Yeah. And it's Roman's time to end. Yes. And here's the thing of why I don't think that it would have a lasting impact with Jimmy and Solo coming in. We have Cody Rhodes, who has now made ties with Jey Uso. And Jey Uso will not necessarily defend Cody, but if you have Solo and Jimmy who come out, Jay's not going to be there to watch Roman fall. He's going to be there to help defend Cody. And that's where I think in night 2, Cody versus Roman, Cody wins the title. In night 1, like I said, I can't see Roman losing everything. So I'm agreeing with you saying that The Rock would lose to Roman against Tribal Chief. And maybe it is Universal Champion, but The Rock also has a claimant to Tribal Chief, and it makes sense for him to go after that and not after Universal Champ, because if he goes after Universal Champ, you're dealing with the same thing of Roman's not fighting. The Rock wouldn't fight.
Exactly. So, the reason I understand what you're saying, he won't lose everything all at once. I have the opposite feeling for this sense. The best stories or the best comeback stories is when you lose everything at once.
But does he deserve that comeback story?
I think it'll make you get a different perception. He does what he did a few years ago before he turned into this Tribal Chief. Yeah. Where let's say he loses everything at night. This is the way I kind of see it. Yeah. He loses everything at one night with Cody or The Rock, whoever. Possibly Cody is more likely. He lost. He's not the champion. He's not the Tribal Chief. He's nothing. Yep. He disappears for a bit. Comes back and starts his comeback. I think that would be a great way to... Okay, he had his heel run. Now let's turn him babyface and see how he goes.
Ooh, if they turn him babyface, babyface, that'd be crazy. But I think it would make more sense for The Rock to not just up and pop and then disappear again.
Which is kind of what's going to happen most likely.
Yeah. And again, we won't know, and I won't have a much better answer until there's a legitimate card out. But how I see it right now, and I'll just lay this out plainly, Rock and Roman fight night 1. Rock loses to Roman, gives The Rock incentive to go after Roman, either another date or SummerSlam.
That could be a big match on SummerSlam.
Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns night 2. And Cody takes the title from Roman. The thing that I have a problem with The Rock and SummerSlam is it's too far away, and I feel like Roman needs to lose and then lose. Not lose everything in one night, but lose, and then he just feels like he's going down.
Mhm.
And then you have conflict between Jimmy and Solo, and
Jimmy
then
and
they
Jay,
start fighting.
Okay.
And then maybe Jimmy J meet back together. Solo comes back to. Well, I actually can't see Solo leaving Roman's teat.
Not yet. Not yet. But with that being said, another prediction I have for WrestleMania, like I mentioned in the Rumble, was Jimmy and Jay having a match. I think it's going to happen as
100%.
as the way the Rumble started, the way it was all through that Rumble match. Looks like they're going to have a match at Mania. One other thing I did say, and I'm going to say now, is I told you so. With Bayley winning the Rumble, choosing Io Shirai, and breaking the damage control pretty much. Was I right or was I right?
Oh, you were right.
That's all I gotta say. No, but I can't take all the credit. There was stuff thrown into the shows where it kind of made it look like that was not gonna happen anyway. So, do you have any other predictions here?
No, I do not have any other predictions. As of right now.
Okay, so then I'm gonna go into a little bit of a thing. Just let me know if you want to cut it and piggyback off me. So with what Hayes and we're trading tricks right now in the Vengeance Day pay-per-view. It looks like they're gonna have a match, possibly WrestleMania weekend, for the NXT show Stand and Deliver, if I remember correctly. They should have a complete no DQ, just beat the hell out of each other. That would be a great match. And I do see Trick coming out victorious on that one. Also, since it kind of looks like Cody Rhodes is going to go after Seth Rollins now for the World Heavyweight title, who is Gunther going to wrestle at WrestleMania? A few names that pop off the bat is bringing Braun Breaker from NXT to take that title away from Gunther possibly, and Gunther moving up to the world titles. There's also the possibility of getting someone else from NXT, like a Trick, like Carmelo Hayes over here to challenge for him, or even Oba Mafia. I think Oba is that guy too. So it could be possibly that, or someone else that they're bringing in. Another possibility of matches that it's pretty sure is going to happen that we talked about is Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits versus AOP, Authors of Pain, and Killian Cross, their new faction as well, going at WrestleMania. Obviously, the tag team champions are going to be defended at WrestleMania. Judgment Day versus who? Who knows? Do we have any ideas? Do you have any ideas on that?
Maybe a small-time group that is going to
Viking Raiders. That'd be
cool.
Maybe. Or the Shush. What is it called? Alpha Academy.
Yeah. I see either a new group or just a low-hanging fruit. At least try for tag match.
Oh, I just got an idea for the IC title.
Yeah.
He's not signed anywhere. He's a free agent right now.
Okay.
Okada coming in at WrestleMania, beating Gunther. That would be nice. That would be very nice.
That would rocket Okada, man.
Yep. I kind of see that happening, possibly, if WWE signs him.
That is spicy.
Right? Right. And then finally, I know you probably have some names you want to see this, but who will Mommy be facing at WrestleMania?
Now I want her to punch Bianca Belair in the face.
I guess you've chosen.
Um,
I don't think that's gonna happen,
what
but
titles does mommy hold?
she has the women's world championship.
Who is women world champion available?
As
I
much
don't see Bailey doing double titles.
no,
Um, I don't, as much as I would want to see it, don't see Eode going for it.
nope. I don't see anybody from Damage Control going for it right now.
No.
Not even Mommy Asuka.
No Asuka. That's who I was originally thinking.
So
I forgot Mama Asuka.
mm,
I'll have to repent later.
she's gonna spank you.
Yep.
I see a few names here, man, and one that I fucking hate that her name's popping up in my head. Nia Jax.
Why?
The way they build her up in a Rumble. What do you think? Why?
Okay, here's my my counter argument for it.
Okay.
She wasn't shown that much, and all she did was kick people out. And most of the eliminations wasn't even caught on camera.
Doesn't matter. The way they build her as a, I mean, they've always built her like this, as a freak, as a weapon, as a someone to do damage, right? In the Rumble, what do you need to do to win? Eliminate.
Mm-hmm.
So she looked strong because she was eliminating a lot of people. The other name I do see though, because I don't think Bianca's gonna fight for the title. I think Bianca and
That was just more of a joke, more than a legitimate statement.
yeah, you probably want to see her knock down a few pegs. Who was that girl? I can't remember her name. The one that was pulling on her hair when she was trying to save herself from being eliminated.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the one that was everything was holding on by a thread, like you said.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have a feud in WrestleMania, or a match at WrestleMania. But I see Nia Jax the way she was portrayed, and Jade Cargill possibly being thrown into the fire right off the bat versus Mommy. There's still a lot of time to build for it. Like I said, it's 2 months away. That's just some of our thoughts and predictions for the WrestleMania 40 card. Tell us if you agree, disagree. What do you think is going to happen at WrestleMania? But other than that, let's move on to something that you are excited about, some entertainment news.
Yeah, so I know that people are a little bit mixed on this statement here, but The Office, from as it reads, will not be doing a reboot TV show, but instead will be doing a movie. And Bryan Cranston is either directing or he is a part of it. I didn't read the full page, as I am against people who make The Office a lifestyle choice, personally. But I know there's a lot of people who are very excited for this show, or movie, I should say. And to my understanding, it has been greenlit. So definitely will be happening.
I was not a big fan of The Office.
It was a mid show.
Yeah, like there were funny moments, like in anything.
Yeah. I'm not going to get into my complete disdain for why I don't like The Office. And trust me, I gave it an honest shot. I watched 4 to 6 seasons and I came out not liking it. Yeah. So you can't say that I didn't try watching The Office.
Yeah, I only saw a few episodes, a few clips here and there.
Basically, all of the funny clips that you saw were the only funny parts in the show.
Gotcha. Parkour.
Yeah, so apparently, as it read, I'll read the headline that I found specifically. The Office movie, question mark. Bryan Cranston asks cast members about doing a film instead of a reboot series. They say yes. That is the exact quote, and you can find the entire article on Variety.com, probably under the same title that I had just said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking forward to it. Like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan. They do have their funny moments and like stuff, and people love it, but I really didn't care enough for it.
Yeah. moving on from that before I just death rant about The Office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, is one thing I'm really excited for, and one thing that I'm hoping that we get you into here soon
Mhm.
is the new Doctor Who season 14. Um, they did a little preview with the new Doctor, Nakudi Gawan. I can't.
I don't know who that is.
Ncuti Gatawa.
Gatwa.
Gatwa. Um,
Is that the new Doctor Who?
yes, that is going to be the new Doctor.
Oh,
Um,
African American.
yes,
Or
I believe this is their first colored uh,
fellow.
Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Last season or last Doctor, they had the first female Doctor.
Okay.
So
When is the they're starting to go into a little different way.
yeah, and I definitely liking that they're moving in this way. I don't. With the inclusion of the first female Doctor, they started not necessarily including the first black adventurers. I can't think of the exact name that you would call them, but they were with the Doctor on adventures. You know,
Companions.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. Um, they have had African American companions in the past. With the female Doctor, they had the longest running African American companions, and that was really cool. I really felt like they definitely are pushing for inclusion, and that's awesome. Um, and Stephen uh, Moffat, never gotten a Doctor Who, but that's hype. Yeah, no, it's Doctor Who. It's really funny. British comedy is very hard to understand, and that is what Doctor Who is.
So I like British comedy because it's very dry. It's like right, kind of direct.
Yeah.
And I do like it. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen much of Doctor Who, so maybe I'll get into it here soon, and I could jump into this next season.
Yeah, no, it's definitely enjoyable. I need to finish watching with the female Doctor. I really enjoy Doctor Who. For me, is a binging TV show. And I just need to go and watch what has been released because I was keeping up, and then they took a break or a pause, and then I just didn't watch anything. Yeah, I watched it all the time. Sadler would come into my room and he's like, what is happening?" And I mean, there were some episodes that I would probably still be terrified to watch today. Yeah, Mummy. Oh, Mummy is terrifying. My gut is wrenching from just the thought of that.
All right.
Mommy.
All right.
Are you my mommy? Oh no, it's
I just be clicked on that.
Yes, that's terrifying. That is going to be released May 2024. I'm really excited for it. I need to catch up on Doctor Who. I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Jeez. You got the giggles.
Yeah, high school, I got into it from a friend. They were in band. Her name was Andy, and she was awesome. Got me into Doctor Who. I loved it. Going on, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender live action coming out here. Yes, live action show coming out February 22nd. Now, I wrote up there something that when I first read it, I was pretty upset about it. And they said that it is, and I quote, "This is a remix, not a cover." And that made me sad a little bit because I wanted to see the same exact show, except in live action. And if you think back to the 2010, 2012 Avatar, what'd you just find?
Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to come back to this in a minute. So it's reported that all through the show so far on Monday Night Raw, all the fans have been chanting, "Rocky sucks." This is crazy.
That's wild.
This might force their hand if this continues. Because they haven't chanted that since his first 2 years in wrestling. This is wild. This is wild. Anyways,
that's pretty wild. That's pretty heavy news. We'll definitely be covering a lot more when more things come out, and especially if WWE comes out and makes a full statement, or if
they change plans, for sure we'll be talking about that shit.
But it seems like the reality of if they even are, because I read some stuff on the Rock and Roman fight may be a part of a contract deal, but that's speculation. If that's the case, then what my prediction is becomes closer to a reality. Going back to
sorry, before you continue, this makes me excited because it makes WWE have to force their hand.
Yeah.
When it gets this loud and this bad. So this is just getting me like, yes, yes. Anyways, go
on. Back to The Last Airbender. And I don't think that it's actually titled Avatar: The Last Airbender. When I was reading through the interview, it kind of just read as The Last Airbender.
Okay.
But we'll definitely see how the titles come out. That's neither here nor there. We know the story. Remix, not a cover.
Yeah.
It makes you mad that they're changing on characters because the entire base grew up on that.
Depends.
Okay, I don't know here's the argument though.
Whoa, Sadler, you like the movie?
No. Or what? Yeah, you better not say that the 2010 movie.
That was crap, dude.
I
didn't even watch it. I know it was crap.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Anyways.
So, there's a few things that have been reportedly changed about some of the characters and more.
Oops, wrong one.
And most specifically, I was like, why did you change it to you?
I clicked the wrong one.
The biggest thing that people are having a gripe about it is apparently it's a series. It will be, from what I read, 8 one-hour episodes. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh yeah.
The biggest thing that people are having a fit about is, yes, there is a trailer. Sokka is apparently no longer sexist, but where that becomes an issue is, yes, it is bringing in inclusion and not being attacked by all the people who find that as a problem. The problem with that is it kills his
arc.
Yes, his story arc, because he literally ends up dressing up as a girl later in season 3 of the animation.
Well, he also does it in the 4th or 5th episode when he gets beat up by the what called the Earthbender.
Yeah. So that's he kind of like gets owned. So I'm curious on how they're going to write Sokka, because it's not going to be the specific as he was.
Yeah.
And then another issue is with how Aang is being wrote, because first of all, they complained about putting on a 20-year-old for a 12-year-old part. So they chose a 12-year-old for a 12-year-old part, respectively. So that's what I was just about to get into, is they're kind of not necessarily killing his you good? So they're not necessarily killing his childish venture, but they are making him more serious, because they're trying to tell a story that they wanted to see, as any director may want to do. So yes, Aang is more serious in this show, but I still think that he's going to have his goofy and all that. As they were being questioned in the show, they said, well, how do you balance it? Well, we were going for a Netflix drama. This is a Netflix drama, not a Nickelodeon kids TV show.
Which makes sense.
And it does. It really does. the thing is they have several different scenes that they shot, and they can play around with it depending on how they want to do it. They did a very serious, and then sillier, and then sillier, and then sillier. So they're still going to have this obnoxious, goofy 12-year-old. It's the as they put it, the DNA of the character is not gone. You still have the baseline of the character. And that kind of makes me a little hopeful, not necessarily for Sokka being sexist, but there being
Potential.
a character arc, an expansion for Sokka, making him the character that he is, that we see him by the time that Aang needs to fight Fire Lord Ozai.
Yes.
Now,
but was there a release date for that yet?
February 22nd, I believe. It's coming right around the corner.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited for it.
So now here's the news that I was thinking that you were going to get excited about. In the kids' TV show, we have this underlying notion that the Fire Nation attacked. They have confirmed that they are going to show the Fire Nation attacking.
Ooh, that's gonna be dope.
So
the start of the war.
Yes, that is one thing that I'm very excited about. And then there's also how Zuko got his scar.
Well, we know how he got it.
But we're going to see the Oni-Kai.
Oh, because when you see flashes of it on the show.
Yes, and they're going to show the full Oni-Kai.
Love it. Love it. 20-second can't come fast enough now.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
So that's the biggest news that I was wanting to, and that's what I was gonna lead with. Other than that, just to recap, it is not a cover of the show. It is a remix. So don't expect the same show.
Yeah.
But
similarities.
Yes, similarities. I definitely think that this is going to be, and I'll put this out on a limb, 100 times better than the movie that we got.
Yeah. That was shit.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily neither here nor there, because we are getting more content over a base period of time. I mean, you're talking 1 hour and 24-minute movie to 8 hours of live action TV show.
Yeah, so it'll definitely make it better with that expanded time that they could explain shit and do shit better.
Yeah, sure. And just to like give a little bit of an example, they talk about how Aang wants to go off and like the entire reason for adventuring to a specific area is just to ride whatever the water creature is.
Yeah,
yes.
Fish.
That is not necessarily the underlying reason why they're going to be going to that area, but I wouldn't say that necessarily disincludes the option of actually seeing that. But we'll see.
Yeah. Excited though. Very much excited for it. Like I said, the 22nd cannot come fast enough now. They're probably going to release it all at once, right?
I will have to get back to you on that.
Okay. All right. Do you have any more entertainment news?
I'm just trying to get a
cast. I don't think we know these actors. You showed me some pictures of them.
Yeah, we went through the actors
and had no fucking idea who they were. But
yes, February 22nd. I just wanted to confirm.
The date.
So premieres. All right, you continue. I'm gonna look into this for just a second.
All right. Well, since that's the end of the entertainment, that's the end of the show. Nah, psych. We still gotta finish what we didn't do last Friday, as we kind of didn't have a good list enough for this. But our top 6 / today top 10 wrestlers of the week. I'm gonna start off real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna go half my list, and then you jump in and do your half. All right. So at number 10, I have Gunther, who had a great defense against Kofi, destroyed him. At number 9, I have Brian Keith, who is, you guys might not know him, especially if you're not from Texas, if I remember correctly. He is coming up. He is starting to make his name known for the last few years, and now it is in AEW where he's had a few great matches, a few great segments, and it looks like they are gonna continue to push him up the card, as he's a great wrestler. At number 8, I have Hook with the great defense of the FTW Championship. It was a 2-on-1 kind of weird match where whoever pinned him would be the champion, but it was a good match nonetheless. He retained. At number 7, I have Bailey with her announcement. Well, first of all, her winning the Rumble, her announcing who she's going after at WrestleMania, being Io Shirai, and her complete betrayal, not betrayal, but attacking on Damage Control that definitely switched this all around, which I called, by the way. That I'm not gonna let that go. Oba, who retained his NXT championship at NXT Vengeance Day, proved me wrong. So much so I had to put him in my top 10. He would have been still in my top 6, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's how much he proved that I was wrong on him. So Oba Femi is on 6. At 5, I have, this one's a little biased, but I also wanted to put her at number 2. So this is fine. Roxanne Perez, I think her showing at that women's title match was fantastic. Like I said, it's a little biased just because I'm a huge fan of her. But those are my 10 through 5. Who are your 10 to 5, sir?
So I was just trying to take a peek real quick to find out how the episodes were dropping for Avatar: Last Airbender. I could not find anything conclusive if they were doing single episodes or whole season at once. I guess we will find out probably within a week of the show. But getting on to my 10 through 5. I kind of started plugging numbers. We put a lot of names on this list.
Yeah, it was a great week for wrestling.
Yeah, so instead of our normal 6, we're doing 10 here.
Yep.
For my number 10, I got Daniel Garcia. And for my number 9, I got Brian Keith for my number 9. For both the same reasons. And they could have been interchanged 10 through 9, 9 through 10. I like to see up and coming of new guys. To have somebody grow and all that other junk, it's really nice. Number 8, and I kind of regret putting him on here now, and I might even switch it off. And also I didn't realize like Oba was that badass before I wrote out my list, but I put Cody Rhodes at number 8.
Okay.
And you know, I'm having a little bit of I never put a
Buyer's
7.
remorse?
Yeah, buyer's remorse. So I realized I never put a 7 on here.
Well, there's your opportunity for somebody.
We'll just plug Oba Femi into my number 7.
Nice.
I would have to probably spend another 10 minutes rewriting this whole list to get an actual what I want.
Okay. That number 6?
Yes, I forgot what came before 7. I have DJ.
Okay. That match, you liked it a lot.
Oh, wait. Fuck. I put it down here. That's why.
No.
Joey Gacy is my number 7.
Yeah. And then number 6, yours was Dijak, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I really enjoyed Joey Gacy's insanity.
Yeah.
Then number 6, Dijak. Number 5, Drew McIntyre. Just because it's Drew, and I wanted him to beat the heck out of CM Punk.
And which he did. That he did. All right. Going forward now with my last 4, I have La Familia, the tag team. I kind of cheated a little bit on this half part of the list.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of hard to choose one from that whole team. So I put La Familia at number 4. And number 3, I put Swerve. Everything he's been doing. Everything he's been not dying. Well, he had the Texas Death Match. Those were bloody as hell.
Read into the name.
Yeah. But everything he's been doing lately has been fire. His match with RVD this last week was tremendous. RVD was also in consideration, but I think Swerve's performance definitely outshined. Not to mention his promo and Collision was great. And number 2, I cheated again a little bit because it was a team thing. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, the winners of the Cup. I couldn't separate them one from another. It's a team effort for
Yeah.
that. So they're my number two. At my number one was the unexpected performance from Trick Williams, both not only in the Dusty Cup finals, but in the NXT Championship main event. Uh, like I said, he's did not expect that performance from him, so I have to give him his props at the best wrestler of this week. Even though he did lose,
Mm-hmm.
his performance definitely put him above everybody else. How
All right,
about
all
you?
right. So for my number 4, I have Lyra
Valkyra.
Valkyra.
Mm-hmm.
She did a wonderful match. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed watching what we watched from her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely a very good performer.
Yes.
For my number 3, I put Trick Williams.
Hell yeah.
I had to put him up in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
And funnily enough, I did the same goofy stuff you did for number 2,
Uh-oh.
Braun Breaker and Baron
We
Corbin.
think alike on that part.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Man, was it definitely one of the best matches
Yeah.
that we've seen this year. I wouldn't say that it is contender for the year, but it is probably the best match that we have seen this year.
Probably you've seen.
Yes.
No, to me, I like two more matches better on this card than that one. But yes, it was very up there.
Yeah. And then my number 1, because I was plug and playing, I have Gunter because he a poppy.
Wow, you got two mommies and a daddy now.
Hell yeah.
Jesus. Well, those are our list for this week's top 10 wrestlers of the week. Next week, most likely, we will go back to top 6. We will see.
Depends on how much hits the table.
Exactly. But tell us what you think of our list. Tell us if you agree, disagree. What are your top 10 this week? But other than that, do you have any other news?
No, I do not.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we close off, a reminder, join us this Sunday, February 11th. We're going to live stream the Super Bowl as we're watching it. We will not put the actual game up as NFL is very strict on this crap. So we will get stricken and probably kicked out the platform quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But join us around 4:30. I think the game or 5.
4:30 it should be about kickoff time.
Okay. So join us then. It'll be me, Jax, and possibly a few other guests.
Yeah.
But other than that, remember to take everything we say with a grain of salt. We're just two doofuses, two jokers who like to talk about sports, wrestling, and entertainment stuff. These are just our thoughts. If you don't like what we gotta say or we offend you, move along. You don't need to be here. I understand. This show is terrible. I get it.
All 8 episodes will be dropping.
Final news. All 8 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender show.
According to goodhousekeeping.com, January 26th, 2024. I almost just closed my lid.
Sweet. But with that being said, also be grateful for all the stuff you have. Be grateful for the problems you don't have, because it could always be much worse.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, I've been Lobo.
I've been Jax.
And this was Joker's Wildside Corner. See you next time.